Welcome to video number 5 of a 6-part series geared towards informing the Frewsburg community about the proposed Capital Improvement Project 2023. In this video, I will explain where we are with the track and adding turf to the field or adding an athletic complex and the allowable budget. Our goals were to try to reconstruct the track in order to have 8 lanes to hold a sectional meet. We also looked to increase the inside area within the track to have a sectional soccer field. A third goal was to add turf to the infield of the track, and lastly, to potentially add an athletic complex at one or both buildings. These goals led the district to pursue designs and budgets in order to determine what was doable, allowable, and aidable. When a district is considering doing work such as a track, turf field, or turf athletic complex, the State Education Department requires a maximum cost allowance be calculated in order to make sure that the work done will be aided. In the previous videos, you have heard that the Frewsburg district receives 95% aid back from the state. However, this only occurs if the district stays within the maximum cost allowance. There is a maximum cost allowance for construction inside the building and a maximum incidental cost allowance for site work, which is construction outside of the building. Since the purpose of this video is about the track and athletic complex, we will only be focusing on the incidental maximum cost allowance. You can see here that the maximum cost allowance is calculated separately for each building, and there is a look back of projects from a specific number of years that is subtracted from this allowance. As you can see, previous work is subtracted from our maximum cost allowance. This gives us a lower incidental maximum cost allowance if we were to do this work right now versus waiting for projects to fall off and completing the work in 2025. As a side note, other districts may not have done construction in the last 5 years and may have the maximum incidental cost allowance to put towards a turf field. Still, other districts may save money in their capital reserve fund and pay for turf with the money in this reserve. Districts that do this do not receive any aid on construction done in this manner. Taxpayer dollars are directly used to pay for work completed this way. I need you to pay attention to these amounts right here. Please keep in mind that this amount must also be used to pay for the architects, lawyers, the cost of the vote, and any other items required by the state, such as seekers and SWIPs. These amounts minus all other incidental fees are what we are able to spend for a track, turf, or athletic complex, and we must be certain to stay within the amounts associated with each building. With our maximum cost allowances for both buildings calculated by our financial advisor, we next looked at designs in order to determine the costs. Let's first look at a rendition that shot for the moon at RHJ. This sports complex option has a turf soccer field, 225 feet by 360 feet, a turf softball field, a turf baseball field, a sidewalk around the sports complex, a natural grass soccer field, tennis courts, a basketball court, and playgrounds. Now here is the cost. Comparing it to the maximum cost allowance, or the MCA, you can see that it is over by $24.9 million. With only $1.9 million, any options at RHJ are not possible at this time. Now, let's look at a modest example at the high school that only includes a turf infield. I am showing you a modest example since we saw the exorbitant cost of a complex in the previous slide. Key features of this design include a turf football field, a turf soccer field 225 feet by 360 feet, an 8-lane broken back track, pole vault, a triple jump, shot put, discus, a high jump, tennis courts, basketball court, natural grass softball field, and a natural grass baseball field at RHJ. The cost is $13.3 million, which is $8.2 million over the MCA. Again, this is not an option. In this next rendition, we are hoping to obtain a grass football field, a grass soccer field 225 feet by 360 feet, an 8-lane broken back track, pole vault, triple jump, high jump, a natural grass softball field, a natural grass baseball field at RHJ. The cost of this option is $9.7 million. This cost is over the MCA by $4.6 million. Again, not an option. At looking at the low MCA, the district became worried if we would even be able to do the much needed construction on the track. This version replaces the track in kind, which means exactly as it sits now. Key features of this include a grass football field, a grass soccer field, 170 feet by 360 feet, a 6-lane track like we have now, a pole vault, high jump, a triple jump, an existing baseball field to remain. As a last-ditch effort to get turf on the infield, we questioned whether we could have our community vote on a separate proposition that would include paying directly out of our budget. For this, we turned to our financial advisor. If a project is $3.3 million over the maximum cost allowance, the average annual tax impact would be $150 per $100,000 of assessed home value over 15 years. Definitely not possible. In summary, after trying several attempts to add either an athletic complex or at a bare minimum a turf field in addition to replacing the track, our allowable budget dictated by state ed will not allow it at this time. The district will need to re-examine this once all of the site work falls off of the calculation. Replacing the track exactly as it is now does fit in the project, and because of the state of disrepair, the district has included the track replacement in the Capital Improvement Project 2023. The district will be conducting 2 in-person meetings in order to provide more details or answer any additional questions regarding this portion of the project. These meetings will take place on October 30th at 7 p.m. and November 2nd at 4 p.m. Both meetings will take place in the high school library. Thank you, and we hope to see you there.